What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Lawrence Okolie knocks out Wadi Camacho in 4 rounds in a fairly one-sided fight, it has to be said. Lawrence Okolie really had it all his own way from start to finish. Wadi Camacho didn't really have much success in this fight. Lawrence Okolie in the UK is a polarising figure, mainly due to his fighting style. You know, his style is ugly on the eye, it's got to be said. A lot of clinching, a lot of wrestling, rabbit punches, dirty fighting, and yeah, it's kind of got him a bad reputation in the UK, and a lot of fans out there are really cold on Lawrence Okolie. They're not really feeling him right now. But I've got to say, in this fight with Wadi Camacho, he did do a few things that impressed me, and I did notice a few improvements. You can tell Lawrence Okolie's new trainer, Barry Robinson, is having positive impacts on Okolie's game. You know, from the first bell, I felt Okolie, found a home for his straight right hand against the southpaw Camacho, and that was a shot he had a lot of success with, throughout the fight, and that straight right hand was being landed to the body and the head, so I enjoyed the way he was varying the right hand. Also, on the few times he threw it, the jab to the body was also a good punch for Lawrence Okolie in this fight. I would have liked to have seen him a bit more active with the jab in this fight. Like most Okolie fights, there's not really much of a jab. Okolie will kind of pour his jab hand out and then he'll fire a straight right. I want to see Okolie use a quick, hard jab. I want to see Okolie vary the jab from body to head. I need to see more of a consistent jab from Okolie, but on the few occasions he threw it, it was actually quite a decent shot. So on the outside, I felt Okolie was doing some good things. He got his timing down quite well. He actually managed to time Camacho a couple of times with a straight right hand to the head when Camacho overcommitted. And, in this fight, there were stages when Okolie, was timing Camacho fairly well. It didn't look technically refined, but, he was finding the shots when Camacho was overcommitting, and they was finding the target. So there were positives in this fight for Okolie. There were improvements in my opinion. Also, another positive was actually the stoppage. I felt Okolie did a good job of not smothering his work. Once he had Camacho hurt originally, I believe it started with a right hand to the head. He then, kind of varied his attack. He threw different shots to the body and head, did a good job of not smothering himself. So that was another positive. And yeah, all in all, I felt Okolie showed a few signs of progression. And I actually think this fight was good for him, to be quite honest. There were still a few negatives, when Camacho actually got on the inside, Okolie just held, just clinching, just wrestling. There was no inside work. And at this level, you can get away with that. But when you move up against more versatile fighters, bigger fighters, stronger fighters who can punch, that could be a problem. I want to see Okolie's inside game develop, because right now, or so far as a pro, we've not really seen much progression, to be quite honest. He has got quite a nice uppercut on the inside, but apart from that, there's really not much there, so I need to see more progression from Okolie on the inside. It is good that he can smother opponents on the inside, because, you may need that in the future when you get hurt, or, when a guy is outworking you on the inside. Sometimes you may need a breather, you may need to tie your man up, and that's a good skill to have, but, you can't just do that, because at that stage, that's when you can, get points deducted, as we saw in the Askin fight, and, yeah, get yourself in trouble. So I need to see more of an inside game from Okolie. But yeah, all in all, I felt it was a decent performance. He showed signs of progression. He can clearly punch fairly hard. And yeah, he won the fight by a 4th round knockout. So I can't really be too critical. Going forwards, I want to see him stay at domestic level. Maybe fight somebody like Craig Kennedy or Richard Riakporhe. Guys like that. They're the type of guys who Okolie should be fighting, in my opinion. They are talking about a step up against Denis Lebedev. I think that is a huge, huge risk. Lebedev, in my opinion, is past his best, but Lebedev is a crafty veteran. He's durable, he can punch, and he's been at world level for about 10 years now, 10, 11 years. Lebedev has been about, so that would be a risky fight for Lawrence Okolie, and I don't think it's worth the risk, in all honesty. I think Okolie needs a couple more domestic fights. He needs to keep working in the gym and, you know, keep improving. Right now, I just don't think it's worth fighting Lebedev. I just don't see the point, to be honest. Let him have a few fights, let him develop, and then maybe in 4 or 5 fights' time, we'll see what we have with Lawrence Okolie, and we'll go from there. But there's no need to rush him. He's 26 years old. You know, he's 12-0. He's British and Commonwealth champion. No need to rush him. Just get him a few more fights at this level, and then reassess it in, like I said, 4 or 5 fights' time. But yeah, all in all, a fairly decent performance from Lawrence Okolie. Share your thoughts below. What do you think? Peace.